Sin costs much more than you think. Check the price tag in this episode of 5 Minutes Closer. I'm Vaughn Weatherford, and this is 5 Minutes Closer. For the next 5 minutes, let's explore some biblical truths and apply them to your life. No podcast, including this one, can transform your life or give you what you really need. Only Jesus can do that. You can find out why in what I've called the first five episodes of 5 Minutes Closer. Each following episode explores scriptural truths that, if you follow them, will bring you 5 minutes closer to the person God created you to be. Let's see if we can get you 5 minutes closer. To make a major purchase, you have to know the price. You aren't going to drive home in a Ferrari if you don't know the cost. Even if it's a situation where if you have to ask the price you can't afford it, you still need to know how much to pay. Somebody's going to want to get paid for that Ferrari. Cain should have checked the price tag. His impulsive decision to kill his brother cost him more than he could have ever imagined. His penalty teaches us some important lessons about the cost of sin. What happened is recorded in Genesis chapter 4, beginning with verse 10. And the Lord said, "What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood is crying to me from the ground. And now you are cursed from the ground, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it shall no longer yield to you its strength. You shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth." We need to understand the cost of sin. Cain's brother was dead. Now Cain's offering wouldn't look so meaningless in comparison, right? Problem solved. Not even close. Killing Abel did nothing to fix the problem with Cain's offering. Instead, his sin carried devastating consequences. Cain's sin brought a harsh reality. The one thing he had, his prized possession, the thing he had hung so dearly to that he wouldn't even bring it to the Lord. Because of his sin, Cain lost his land. No longer would he be able to work the field. Like so much in this story, his curse is just like his dad's. God had told Adam that the land he'd been so blessed to work with would now become painfully hard. Now Cain finds the same fate. Taken one step further, the land would no longer bring him a harvest. It didn't stop with Cain's inability to grow some wheat. His relationships were broken. He would wander the earth, or put another way, no one would want the world's only murderer living next door. Not too hard to figure out why. Everybody alive at the time would have been part of Abel's family. No doubt they would hold some resentment against the guy who murdered their uncle over a dead cow. My guess is that Cain didn't think any of that through when he decided to kill his brother. That's one of the many problems with sin. If we just thought about it, we would realize what a bad deal it really is. In his twisted logic, Cain thought that killing his brother would move him up the family tree and make his offering more acceptable to God. Didn't work out that way. Sin never does. As bad as this situation was, it foreshadows something wonderful, recorded in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 24, where the Bible says, "Jesus, the mediator of a new covenant, and to the sprinkled blood that speaks a better word than the blood of Abel." Abel's blood gave testimony to the sin of his brother and set the stage for all the sin to come. Jesus' blood speaks a better word. Cain's sin foretold all the evil that men would do to each other. Jesus' blood shed at Calvary speaks the message of the infinite love of God. Abel's blood spoke the depth of our hatred for each other. Jesus' blood speaks the depth of God's love for us. Abel's blood speaks the power of evil. Jesus' blood speaks the power of God's grace. God knows our sin and knows what we need. Jesus' blood provides the forgiveness that only God has to give. Know the cost of sin and the only one who can pay that cost in full, because now you're 5 minutes closer. My prayer is that these 5 minutes have challenged you, inspired you, and caused you to consider applying God's message for your life from His Word. To find out more, visit our website at 5minutescloser.com. Join me next time to see if we can get you 5 minutes closer.